This video will show you the top 15 habits I have used to maintain lean muscle and keep off fat through the years. Some took me years to realize and implement. My goal is to speed up your fitness process. I completely understand how hard it is to stay fit, and I want you to be able to have a blueprint that is easy to use, even on the hard days. If you've watched my channel or seen earlier videos, you will know that I've been in the fitness space for 20 years and I'm a certified personal trainer. If you don't, you will also find out that in my own weight loss journey, at one point I lost 70 pounds. Well, this sounds like a lot. How I achieved this was not healthy, and I was fighting an eating disorder, plus obsessed with the wrong things. However, there were some good habits I adopted along the way. I've sorted through the bad and will provide the good to help you. I really want you to be able to add more muscle, lose weight, and feel better by learning from what I have learned. Tip 1. Prioritize protein. I've done this for years. When I first started to lose weight, I didn't realize this and just stopped eating. I cut out most foods right away, starving myself. This was so counterproductive. I was fatigued and had a hard time keeping on muscle, even with regular workouts. I thought it worked for a time, but I burned out. Now I make sure that I have a good protein source with every meal, start with protein first, and keep my protein high, even if I scale back the calories some. Whether I'm trying to add some muscle in a fat loss zone or just mixing up different variables with training, how I eat and how much I eat may change, but high protein does not. Sometimes I am more dialed in than others, but prioritizing protein always remains high on my list at about a gram per pound of body weight. Getting a little more is ideal, but even if you fall short, you will be close to what you need. There's always new research, nutrition, and science, but honestly, something like high protein is basic but helpful in keeping lean muscle. I would recommend keeping your protein high at roughly half your calories. If you find this information helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. We have new information weekly. Share this video with someone who is looking to get more fit and needs a little bit of guidance. The second tip is that there will be a phase when you have to put in high volume training. There have been times when I have dialed in the training, put in grueling workouts, and added on muscle by consistently getting after it with my strength training. This may not be fun for some people. However, once you get closer to your desired goal, you can then back off and use your knowledge to use the movement efficiently. I'm just being honest in saying that I've put in a lot of volume at times, which gave me my base foundation. Now, what a lot of volume means can vary by person. There is something called minimal and maximal recoverable volume. All this means is how much you can recover from workouts. Everyone will be different. I believe that in some phases of life you have to do high volume training and use the stimulus to push your muscles. However, as I've gotten older, my volume has come down some. I make sure to warm up the specific movement I am doing and then push really hard on fewer sets. I do think there is a time and place to push volume and get the most from your body. Just don't stay there forever, as this will lead to overtraining. Weight used and frequency matter, but so does volume as you get in the practice or the reps as you would with any activity you want to get better at. There is a diminishing return at some point, and sometimes my 2-hour workouts were too much. I could have done what I needed in half the time. Just listen to your body and start to feel where you get enough volume to get stronger, but not so much that you're chronically fatigued. Third, walk some more. Make time to walk through your day as part of your routine. If possible, get up and move throughout the day at work, after meals, or park further when going into a store. I know this sounds basic, and I used to think that telling someone to walk was dumb. I thought, well, duh, everyone walks anyways. But I promise that making the time to intentionally walk will help you feel better, clear your head, and help your heart. There are numerous studies showing that even 10 to 15 minutes a day lead to numerous health benefits. When I travel for work, when I hang out with friends, I walk, hike, and move. I don't drink or party, but I instead try to move as it helps me feel better. The extra walking can help your mitochondrial health. The data shows it. These mitochondria are a metabolic powerhouse source for everything. They help all functions in your body. They protect and give energy. You take care of them in part by walking. When you take care of yourself by walking, it makes you a better builder of muscle and contributes to your overall health. It makes you a better fat-burning machine. Fourth is fat adaptation. You can train your body to be great at burning fat. When you go into a calorie deficit, you can help your body to be more efficient. You can change your body, your relationship with food. But how does this apply to you watching the video? For starters, a fat adaptation period can take about 90 days. So you would need to commit for almost 3 months. Can you do this? If so, leave comments below. So if you can commit to lower carbs for a few months, you might be able to help yourself with that fat adaptation. I'm not encouraging you to maintain low carbs forever. All I'm saying is set up the habit and then maybe once a year go low carb for a month. Mix things up to keep your body guessing and to keep fat off. This just helps to maintain metabolic flexibility and mix things up for your body. I know some people won't agree, but we all have different genetics. Some are better at staying lean, some better at gaining muscle, but by simply maintaining a little fat adaptation and changing things up, it seems to help with muscle building. It helps you stay lean. Some of the people you think look the biggest aren't as big as you think, they're just very lean. Number 5 is to use creatine to your advantage. I've used it on and off throughout the years, and to be honest, at times I didn't like taking it since I have a sensitive stomach. However, it has some of the most convincing literature among supplements to back it up. The standard recommendation is 5 grams of creatine a day. Some people, when they bulk, will afterwards have upwards of 15 to 20 grams a day. I noticed a lot of water retention when I tried this amount. I generally cycled on and off and still benefit from 5 grams. I feel like it is most beneficial for me in recovery from workouts, although it does have cognitive and other benefits we're finding out more and more. When you're training hard, you deplete your creatine stores. Don't be afraid of using it and be willing to try. 6th is peptides. They interest me. Do they work? I'm sure they do, but I don't know from personal experience. I've done some preliminary research and have yet to take them. I'm thinking about either taking BPC 157 or TB 500 to help with injury repair and recovery. I have some lingering shoulder soreness currently. Let me know in the comments if you want me to try and report back. Also, share your experiences if you've taken them. 7th, I don't drink alcohol, ever. Not to say I judge if you do, just to be real, it does nothing to help with health. I have lots of friends who drink and enjoy it. It's an escape from reality. However, I don't feel like I'm missing that much by drinking. I can have a good sleep pattern, still have fun with others, and remain in control. For good physique long term, I just advise abstaining from alcohol. 8th, follow an 80% rule with diet and training. This will help with consistency without making life miserable. You would think that someone in fitness who wants to maintain a good physique has to be obsessive and perfect 100%. However, that's not the case. I've been doing it for so long I can stick with what I tell you to do the vast majority of the time, and that's all you need. You don't have to be perfect, just consistent. If you get yourself on track, it'll help and you don't have to worry about being perfect and burn out. 80% of the time I'm dialed in and do the best I can. The rest is just filling in the pieces. Sometimes you could be 100% dialed in with diet and take a deload at the gym. Other times you could be 100% dialed in with workouts, but maybe relaxing a little on diet. This is natural and needed to prevent getting overwhelmed. You could relax with diet for a while and then push really hard on workouts, then mix it up a few weeks later. When I use a percentage, I'm not being literal across the board. Most of what I'm saying is 20% of your energy could go to workouts, 20 to protein, 20 to fiber, 20% on mental health, and the remainder could be on rest and fun food. This doesn't mean eat junk food, but instead foods you enjoy that help to de-stress. 9th, don't forget your eggs. Yes, always have whey protein, chicken, ground beef, but eggs are needed as they provide high protein and so many crucial micronutrients. When I first started getting into lifting and bodybuilding, I made liquid egg whites daily. I enjoy scrambled eggs, omelets, things like that to this day. In full transparency, I will say I truly hate hard-boiled eggs. Eggs have everything in them to grow muscle tissue. They're a great muscle-building food, high in protein, packing 6 grams per egg. As a side note, if you eat nutrient-dense food like eggs, you won't have to count calories because you don't need to track it. You're getting what you need. The 10th thing to focus on is minimum effective dose. Your initial physique most of the time will be built on volume if for no other reason than trial and error to figure out what works for your body. Now, if you love working out and train 7 days a week, you might get 95% of the returns, but you could be crossing into overtraining. You might still get 85 to 90% of maximum benefit with 5 days and not get injured. The point is, where's the diminishing line of return? You have to use your time wisely when working out to see best results. If you train too much and don't have energy to then focus on good food, is it really worth it? I would say no. We all only have so much energy and load we can take. If it all goes into training, there will probably be less elsewhere. It's always about the minimum effective dose to keep you balanced. This helps you maximize without seeing diminishing returns. I might be kind of crazy, but it's also kind of fun to figure out your maximum tolerable dose. This isn't to say you always have to push in this range, but I would occasionally. This can take years of training and refinement to figure out. You don't want to push too far that you're hurting your progress though. The 11th topic is caffeine. Love it or hate it, it's in our lives. I have mixed feelings on it. I would say there have been times when I was addicted to caffeine and could not go without it. I did not like feeling like this or like I wasn't in control. However, I believe it has helped me with some of my best strength training sessions. I would always prioritize sleep, rest, recovery, and good nutrition first. However, when used in moderation, and if you aren't 100% reliant on it, it can help you push more weight, get more reps, and have better workout. Recent 2021 research showed caffeine work as an ergogenic aid to help with fat mobilization and improve VO2 max. To quote the study, caffeine ingestion may be explained by an enhancement of fatty acid mobilization and oxidation, aided by an increase in the release of epinephrine, a blockage of the A1, A2, A2B, adenosine receptors, thus promoting the release of acetylcholine and dopamine, which dampens pain perceptions, blunts perceived exertion, and delays fatigue. End of quote. Bottom line, caffeine can be helpful if used right and not abused to help with fatigue and help you have a better workout. It can give you an extra boost or edge in the gym, get you going after it. Some green tea or Zevia from time to time won't kill you. At the same time, always consult a physician. I'm not advocating to have multiple pre-workout scoops and hundreds of milligrams of caffeine. 12th, prioritize sleep. Call me weird, but for years I've gone to bed at 9 p.m. and this feels best for me. I've been someone who always needs my sleep. Give or take within 20 minutes, this is roughly what keeps me on track when I go to bed then. If you can get to sleep at a set time and settle in, you'll feel recovered. In my own experience, if for whatever reason I'm tossing or turning or something is off, I know recovery will be off for the next workout. Although it may be idealistic, I would always recommend getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Going to bed late or not getting in enough sleep wreaks havoc. It's better to go to bed at the same time your body is used to and get less sleep than going to bed later and trying to get more by sleeping in. Whenever I travel, stay up late with family and friends, or get off, I don't feel the same. You have to live your life, but you need to be aware of the trade-offs. Point number 13, whey protein is an important part of a high-protein diet. Please don't be afraid to use whey protein or protein powder as part of a healthy, high-protein diet. It should not really be viewed as a supplement, as whey is part of milk. When you separate milk, it's made up of whey and casein, which are both high-quality proteins. When looking at whey protein, we see leucine, which is highly concentrated as an amino acid in whey compared to other protein powders. Leucine is the most anabolic of the amino acids that contributes as a driver of muscle growth. I would recommend roughly at least 30 grams of protein at a time to signal this anabolic threshold of leucine to stimulate muscle protein synthesis through the mTOR pathway. Research has shown this high leucine content in whey stimulates muscle protein synthesis better than other forms of protein. 14th, don't even try a diet that you won't be able to stick to for a lifetime. It's a waste of time, and to be blunt, is stupid. People try all the time to lose 10 pounds, get ready for a wedding, or look good for the next big event. They do this by drastically altering how they eat in a way they would be miserable if they had to eat that way for a lifetime. They might cut out carbs or all treats. Then when they reach the goal, they go back to how they were before. Usually they yo-yo and add on even more weight. It's not healthy and harmful psychologically. I would recommend sticking to what you can and be as consistent as possible rather than a temporary diet. If you need a Snickers here or there, don't sweat it. Generally, eating healthy, high-protein foods with fiber, fruit, vegetables, eggs, and fish help you to feel satiated and not have to make drastic changes to feel or look your best. This will keep you at your best year-round. If you can adhere to it and be consistent, it is better as a lifestyle than any diet. 15th, don't believe everything you hear or see online. What blueprint worked for one person will not work best across the board for you. Just because one popular fitness influencer did reverse grip bench press and hammer curl does not mean these are the only lifts you need to look like them. A lot of times people will post a new study or part of a study that confirms their belief. It can be a small part of a bigger picture. We need to be aware that things are always updated and we rarely have the full picture. Most research and studies draw a conclusion, but then say more research is needed or other variables need to be adjusted. The beauty and curse is that we're always evolving. To be clear, most of the results I have gotten have come from little things added together. It's not one thing. Most of the time I'm going to do the simple, boring basics, eating a clean diet, working out, and recovering. Not perfect, but consistency is key. As always, I try to bring practical fitness advice you can use right away. I hope that even one of these basic tips will help, will benefit your life, and make you a better, healthier version of you. What's your number one fitness goal? What progress do you want to see? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay consistent, keep moving, and and I'll see you in the next video. We release new content weekly. My goal is always to bring you real fitness advice you can use right away.